Hey there, I thought you might want to come and make some dinner with me. I've been working in the yard all afternoon. I just realized it's almost 5 o'clock and I haven't thought of anything that I'm going to do for dinner. And so this kind of day is when we go for everything in jars down in the basement, because I've got to feed the family. We've got small group tonight. There's just not a lot of time for us to eat a complicated meal, or even one that takes any time. So I'm gonna do some beans that we canned back in March. Okay, these are Great Northerns. I'm also gonna serve green beans, which I know, 2 beans, but these are green and those aren't, so that's a green thing. Here's a fruit. These are kind of like a salad or dessert. And then these are from when I was just learning to can last year. These are mandarin oranges from last October. And then this coleslaw, another beginner recipe that I used last year, and it's actually really good. It's called sweet and sour coleslaw. The kids don't like it as much because it's pretty heavy on the cabbage, and it's got a lot of crunch to it, but I really like it. So this is a good option for that. And then I'm gonna cook up some rice in my rice cooker, and that's gonna be it. My last day of tomato fingers. That's what I was doing in the garden. I was pulling out all the tomato plants from this year. Okay, do you know where the 3/4 cup is? Okay, we may have to do some math. If we do 4 servings, so if you have a rice cooker and you've lost the scoop that came with it, each scoop is about 3/4 of a cup. So if you do your math, 4 times 3 is 12 quarters, which is the same as 3 cups. So I'm gonna do 4 servings in the rice cooker. Did the math, it's 3 cups. Because the scoop that comes with it is not a full cup, it's 3/4. If you don't have a rice cooker, it's my #1 recommended thing for household cooking, because it is just something that you can set and forget. 3rd cup. And then I am gonna rinse this. It helps to rinse it. And it takes out a little bit of the starch too. So I just fill it up a couple times. If there's any debris in there. Alright, that's about done. Alright, now your rice cooker has a line on the inside. You just fill it up to the 4 servings. Literally just put the top on. There's a little steam basket that came with this, but I never used that. And let it go. And it'll click back to the warm when it's ready. So now, the cans. We do the beans in this. I don't know if the cat is in the house, but he is addicted to the gelatinous liquid that is formed with canned beans. It's so funny. He doesn't like a lot of people food, but he loves that stuff that's deep in there. All right, so if you are doing a lot of canning, you're gonna need some kind of can opener. This is an old one that we got at a thrift shop, or that's the sound you're looking for. You hear that? Did you hear that sound? I'll see if I can save you some liquid. I'd love to learn a new way of canning beans. The recipe that I used makes them just a little too mushy. It's not bad. Everybody eats them and it's just fine, but I'd like them to hold their shape just a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape out this gelatinous stuff. I'm gonna put it on a dish for him. I looked it up, and it's called aquafaba. A couple beans in there, but he won't eat those. He just likes the gooey part. I know! And actually, what I learned is he is not the only cat that likes this stuff. Are you happy? You want a little more? You're so funny. Here you go. sweeten it. All right, I'm gonna pop this on the stove on low. There we go. And we need a little liquid, so I'll just go ahead and pour that whole thing in there. Hopefully it'll fit. Oh, they smell really good. This is our first time trying these green beans. Local produce. No, I know, you think you want those too, but you don't. You've already been given what you like. I know. They're so silly. And then these two things are just gonna go in a cold dish. All right, the mandarin oranges. Oh, I love that sound. Oh, those are dang good. They taste almost fresh. Those were canned in October with just a little bit of light syrup. Sweet and sour coleslaw. This stuff is so good. Oh man, it's like really tangy. The beans are starting to bubble. The rice is bubbling. Oh man. I think it's even better than the first time I tried that. Oh, that's really good. Okay, at this point, it's literally just a matter of waiting for the rice to be done. When I canned these, I canned them with a little bit of, I think, garlic, and then the ham, which really flavored them, and then just a little bit of onion. And so they're really good. I just have some seasoning salt. I'm gonna add just a little bit. And then I noticed green beans were pretty bland, and so I am adding a little salt to them. Some salt. We're almost done. I don't know what time it is. It's only 5:10. All of this has taken 10 minutes. So we're just waiting for the rice at this point. So that is just about it. Rice is almost done because it's bubbling away. And I just want to say, if you are kind of on the fence, like, why do I even need to know how to can? When I first started, I didn't have anything that I had grown on my own. I just got things in bulk or just fresh vegetables from the grocery store. You can definitely can those things. For me, it's a matter of pre-planning a meal before you even need it. So when I did these beans, I did 7 jars of beans all at once, and it warmed up my kitchen in the winter time. And now I'm going back and using those beans instead of getting my family a pizza or burgers or something like that. It's just a matter of like preloading some groceries in your basement that are ready to go and pre-cooked. They don't take up any freezer space. I'm the kind of person who forgets to make dinner until it's almost 5 o'clock some days, especially if I've been out playing in the tomatoes. So I would just encourage you to start small, start with some jams or pickles or something, but get right to the pressure canning if you can, and if you have a lot of mouths to feed, and if you want to avoid getting takeout all the time. The whole reason I started pressure canning in the first place is because I was so proud of my jams and pickles, and my daughter, who is now at college, she was like, okay, that's great, but what are we gonna eat if like stuff goes wrong? Like, where's the food? And so I was like, oh, okay, I hear your challenge. And I was inspired by that to learn how to pressure can, because you don't have to only do pickles or things with high acid. You can pretty much pressure can anything. There's just a few things that you can't use that for. So that's when you get your beans, your meat, your chicken broth, your vegetables that don't have high acid. So they're not the non-pickled vegetables. And it's a really very useful thing to learn. And it's not as scary as you think it might be. It is definitely a learned skill, but it takes maybe 3 or 4 times to really get it down. Did you hear that? It just clicked to warm. Dinner's ready, and it is 5:17.